everybody? Welcome back to Barbells and Burnouts. And you can see I'm here with my buddy Josh. And this is not the Datsun. What do we have here, Josh?
This is something that's I needed for 3 kids.
Uh-huh.
I was thinking about buying something that's, LS and 4 doors in the hospital. And I was like, you know what? I think I'll go get me a G8. It was between a G8 or a CTSV.
Okay.
And I was like, G8's cheaper, so.
Okay, cool. So what year G8 is and what is done to it?
So this is an 09 model G8, just a regular GT with a 6.0 L76 motor. I had it all motor for a little while. I put headers on it for a little bit. I had the solo catback exhaust, and I was thinking, I'm a big Boost fan, so I'm not really, just to drive around it was cool with the NA stuff, but I was like, eventually I'll do something. And I thought about the LSA stuff, I thought about the Magnuson stuff, but I was like, it'd be really cool. You don't really see too many turbo G8s. And, they used to have a kit, I don't know who made it, but it was a company, I think STS, they made a rear mount turbo setup, but it was twins. And I was like, well, I don't need twins right now. I'd rather spend some money on on a single. So I just sat down, kind of drew out what I think would work to make my own rear mount turbo. And then I called my dad and I asked him if he could help me with it, and we made it happen. And so you still have a dual exhaust. It's still even on both banks. It's pretty much I've taken the factory exhaust, and instead of running 2 dual exhausts to the rear, route 1 pipe all the way back and run it right in the turbo, and then do that on one side, and then use the charge pipe to run in on the other side where the path for the dual exhaust would be. Run it back up. I had to find a way to run a tube between the to go from under the car and up in the engine bay without hitting nothing hot or being too exposed to heat. And it worked out. I figured it out. Then the next step was, hey, how are we going to keep the temps down? I mean, I tried it with no intercooler, since the temps are usually lower in the back of the car. By the time the air gets to the front, it drops some. But the temps were still a little high. I'm only on 93 octane, so I'm not running E85. So I decided to add, make my own air-to-water intercooler. So I'll show you that here in a minute, but I had to kind of fast stuff together and rig up a pump and keep the temps a lot lower. I mean, I think with 93, the temps were, like if I was normal driving on a 50-degree day outside, the temps would be like 109, just cruising. And after a pool, or during the pool, it can go up to like 130. It didn't start to cool off slow, but it's so heat soaked, it would stay hot. After the cooler, I mean, it barely, it's cruising, it's 5 to 10 degrees over ambient, and getting in the boost, it's not so bad.
All right, cool. So how much power do you make in the G8?
So right now, it made, on the dyno, it made 605 and 595 foot-pounds of torque. And we did this on 93 octane with 10.5 pounds of boost. It was moderately warm that day. I mean, I think maybe 70 degrees, 75, 70 degrees. It wasn't too bad. I mean, ideally you want it 40 to 60 for me, especially with 93, but it did pretty good. It's actually, I forgot to mention earlier, it's actually a little bit different turbo than most. It's actually an oilless turbo. It doesn't take any oil. You don't have to make a drain for it. So I use Comp Performance. Actually went with the 64-67 combo and stainless steel housing, a bunch of those little goodies to make it look nice and be more durable. And all you have to do is just take a grease gun with their specific grease and pump it. They said 8 pumps every 3,000 miles. So pretty much every time you do an oil change, that's pretty convenient. Yeah. I mean, every time I change the oil, I literally just walk to the back, pump grease in it. And it's got easy access since it's rear mounted. So, but then if you go to a track day, they recommend you, pump a little grease in it before you go or after you make a couple passes, since you're beating on it at the track. But other than that, I mean, it's not a problem at all. You just buy you a $6 grease gun and get their grease, put it in there, and then use it accordingly, and just order grease every. They said their bottle of grease lasts about a year or two. depending on how you use it. It's
Yeah.
just, depending on how much you drive it.
Yeah. So, what is your favorite part about the car?
I like that it's chill.
Mm-hmm.
I like turbo stuff because the goal was, hey, I drive this car, I drive my kids in this thing, so I want it to be where I can still keep my gas mileage. So we went with I think it's a BTR Stage 1 LS3 cam, the second version, so version 2. You can use the stock converter with this cam. It makes torque, make more power all the way through the band. It's supposed to be like a hot cam, but a little bit bigger. So it's got like over 600 lift, but it's a smaller duration. And we don't want too much valve overlap for the turbo anyway, so it worked out perfect. I love it. It chops still. I didn't think we can do that with the turbo cam. It rides good. The gas mileage, I don't notice a difference between the stock cam and this cam. It's very good. So I'd like to use this cam again on a different platform. So I'm probably gonna do something else at some point.
We're gonna have we have what one more review coming waiting for it. Sitting at the house right now. Well, actually, technically, 2 others because he has to give you an update on something else.
Yeah.
But at the moment, we have some other plans in the works.
That's
right?
true. We got 2 surprises coming. There's some things coming up, and one of them is a big one.
Yeah.
One of them is 4 digits.
Yeah.
But we'll get there.
Yeah, that's for another one. All right. So let's hop in the car and see how the car feels.
Cool.
Bet. All right, so let's go see what the rolling feeling like. I always forget that this G8 is automatic, not manual, and I'll be like, okay, you're gonna shift it into. Oh no, you got the automatic, but it still eats the same way. This is one of them cars that GM did right. Yeah. If only they put a stick in. Well, they did put it in 1 or 2 models they have. I don't remember.
What?
The manual.
The GXP, yeah.
Yeah, the GXP
had a manual.
Yeah.
Yeah, that car is expensive.
Yeah.
In reality, I probably would have bought a GXP if they were like just a little bit more expensive than the GT.
Yeah, they get up to what, like 35,000 ish.
Low mileage, you can still find one in the 40s.
Yeah.
That's high. I mean, it's definitely cheaper than an SS. It's the same thing, but.
Boy, I love me an SS. I love me an SS.
Nice. Those are real nice.
Yeah.
But for my budget, I was like, I'll just get a GT for now.
A GT still eat, you know what I'm saying? It still eat. He's been trying to convince me for the last 3 days to get a GT.
Yeah, so, man. Get you one.
Hey man, I told you, my mind is thinking on
it. Yeah. It'd be nice. It's a nice little. It's kind of like. I know Mercedes have gotten a lot faster. I mean, they've always been fast, but it's very comfortable. It rides good when everything's working right. Yeah. It's quiet cabin,
Yeah. I heard the turbo spool up just now, but right now, just rolling. This is normal car sound.
This is normal car sound. And the weight distribution is pretty good. It's not that these cars are not really front heavy.
No.
It's got first off, these cars are kind of long too. I don't really know how long in feet at the moment, but the weight, they're not front heavy at all. They're pretty balanced.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I don't think we said in the dyno. How much did it make in the dyno?
Yeah, we made 605.
605.
Yeah,
okay.
It made 605, right? Peaked right there. And the thing about that, man, when I was looking at it, it made a consistent pass. Like there's power and torque. Really, it's pretty linear all the way through.
Yeah.
That was the biggest thing. And a lot of cars, they'll get a big cam. These guys, they don't really match it all. They get off the shelf cam. They don't spec anything. Yeah. And they might peak it, at a certain point, but then they sacrifice a lot of low end torque. Depending on what setup they have, I don't know. But with this, it's actually pretty it's some pretty good numbers. Looking at the graph, it's pretty solid. Yeah. And I'm comparing that to the other cars. It's more of a straight line.
It's linear.
Than the Z and the FRS. and the FRS.
So tell me about the weight thing.
So the weight, there's a cotton gin near my house. And I had an old friend of mine, he told me about it. And at nighttime, the scale is always open. And most of them are usually people that are doing stuff like that. So you can pull up, there as long as there's no fence blocking the entrance. At 10 o'clock, 11 o'clock at night. Sometimes when they're closed, right? And you can just ride up on the scale and it'll tell you what the car is. And so I try to accommodate for all of the baby seats in the back, and I got all kinds of little toy stuff back there right now.
Yeah.
I mean, I'd say that's all about maybe 50 pounds together, all 3 car seats.
Yeah.
And so when I weighed it and I subtracted that number, it came out to like 39.20.
That's pretty decent.
Without me sitting in and out.
Yeah.
You know, just me jumping off the scale real quick and jump back in.
Yeah.
It was pretty good. Yeah.
Yeah. For the 605 at 39.20 is real good.
But see, like, and the thing is, what I compare it to is like Hellcat stuff.
Mm-hmm.
And Hellcats, you know, they make 707 crank.
Yeah.
But, you know, the Charger apparently is around like 4,500 pounds. And I was like, dang, that's kind of heavy. So, I mean, all in all, this car would be ideally faster.
Yeah.
It's making a little bit more to the wheels, and it's a couple 100 pounds lighter.
Exactly.
I mean, yeah, I got to wait on boost a little bit, but I mean,
once it hits,
I hadn't even bought a 2-step yet.
Yeah.
But so what you think about it?
I think the car's like so far it feels like very, very streetable. Like nothing loud, no obnoxious like race car quote unquote sounds. You know, the turbo's very, very quiet. You can hear when it starts to spool when you're accelerating, but it's not like it's an insane like drone or anything. And I think that's really important if you're gonna daily the car.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? Because like obviously you daily it with the kids seats in the back, so you can't always be 1,000 horsepower sounding like 1,000 horsepower like you got a freight train coming running. Right. It sounds very, very streetable. You know?
That was the thing. I tried to do it with no mufflers.
Yeah.
And you know, there's always drone. The LS stuff is always they seem to have a decent amount of drone if you straight pipe them.
Yeah.
But Vibrant Performance makes ultra quiet resonators. That's the same mufflers or resonators as on the Z at the moment.
Yeah.
And those are they take away the drone for the most part now. And say my drone's gone. But some setups might be a little different. So my drone's gone, but it also quietened it down.
Yeah.
And I made a little video of like sliding the tube over the exhaust like that and then taking it off.
Yeah.
And it was a night and day difference. You can I mean you're listening to it idle and revving it up without anything, and then since they made the resonators, the inlet and outlet an oversized diameter, you can just slide it over your tube.
Yeah.
And I just slid it over it, and you hear the huge sound changes. It's ridiculous.
Yeah.
Yeah.
That's beautiful. That's beautiful. Boy, that gear is so long. Shoo. And she's just moving.
140.
Yeah, 140, yeah. I looked over right before you said, I was like, dang, we got the 140 quick. Got the 140 quick. And that's with her spinning and going.
Yeah, that sucker get down.
Yeah.
She get down for what it is.
Mm-hmm. It was moving on that one.
I hadn't even got the boost controllers right. It was cutting in and out of boost the whole time.
Yeah. I wasn't even watching. Oh man, that thing's getting down and eating, man.
It's like it's floating.
Yeah, it just literally does like perfect word. Feels like it's floating. It's not a punch in the butt, you know what I'm saying? It just floats and rolls in through it.
As soon as you get around 120, man, it's like a cushion of air.
Yeah, it's literally just like cushion. Because we went over a bump right there. It did nothing crazy, just rolled right over it.
There's debate on keeping that, you know, actually keeping it or actually like, the AC was on. Actually keeping that or just, you know, I really, it'd be good to have coilovers in the rear.
Yeah.
That'll help with getting out the whole straight line tracks.
But this isn't. All right, so the camera died on us, but that was a great video. I think this is the best spot to end it. Yeah, look, we gotta be safe around this corner.
Yeah, gotta be safe around it.
But thank you so much, Josh, for doing a review with me. Yeah. As always, the cars are extremely fun, and y'all know my boy always here to help, and we have fun. You know what I'm saying?
We have fun. That's the biggest thing about it.
Where can they find you on social media? Because I know you have the page now.
Right, yeah, I made a little page on Instagram. It's Hayes Performance Racing. Hayes_performance_racing.
Yeah, I'm gonna put it right here for them to follow. Check out all his builds. We have 2 more, like we said, surprises that are in the bag. There may be some more things coming. But as always, like, share, and subscribe. Comment on how fast you think he should make the G8. Should he go higher? Should he leave